Hi everyone and welcome to NameHero.com. Today I want to talk about our Magento hosting and about how powerful it is on the NameHero cloud and how to install it and set up your Magento website. Okay, so first I want to introduce our web hosting here at NameHero. We have built our services on top of our high-speed cloud. On top of our cloud, we use Lightspeed Web Server and Maria database. And with all of this together, the experience is much quicker than your traditional web host. So at NameHero, we're known for high-speed cloud web hosting. Now, it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to get started at NameHero. Our packages start as little as $3.49 a month, and then we go up from there based on how popular your website is and how much resources it uses. So if you scroll down here, you can also see some of the extras that we have at NameHero. We have free and automatic SSL, and that's almost a requirement for Magento because Magento is a tremendously awesome e-commerce platform, but it is open source and it's completely white labeled. So when you install it on your website, when people begin to shop and to buy your items, of course you need to have a secure certificate. So at NameHero, that's going to be free and it's going to be automatic. You don't have to go buy a secure certificate later on or elsewhere. We also will migrate over your Magento website over. If you just sign up and then submit us a ticket and let us know that you want us to migrate it over for you, that is free within 30 days of your account. And finally, we also offer free Cloudflare. So if, for those of you that have maybe used Cloudflare or currently do use it, you can go right into cPanel, enable Cloudflare, and have all the protection that they offer, such as DDoS attacks and their web application firewall, and as well as their CDN. So lots of benefits there. Now, it's also important to note that each night we back up all the sites at NameHero, and they're stored on an offsite location. So if we have a data center failure, your data is still safe. So that's always good to know, especially when you're running a e-commerce store. You want to know that your customer data and all your shop data is safe, and that is certainly the case at NameHero. So if you're familiar with Magento, this is their official website, Magento.com, and you can read a little bit more about their platform and what it offers right here. And it talks a little bit about how it's open source and how there's been so many different developers on it and to make it into the platform that it is today. But anyways, I want to show exactly how you can set this up and install it at NameHero, and really under 5-10 minutes. It does not take a long time. Okay, so right now, this is our main slider here, and under Making Web Hosting Great Again, you can click Get Started Now. Now, if you already have your website, then you probably have an idea about how much space you need. But if you're just getting started, then I recommend going with our Web Hosting Plus package. The big difference between this and the starter is it allows hosting for unlimited websites. The starter is just one. So even if you just have one website right now, well, maybe down the road, maybe in a month or two, maybe in a year from now, you want to add an additional website. Maybe it's just a website that you want to test. You want to test a new domain or a new look. Well, you can host it with no extra fees. It's all included. And you even might want to have another website just to handle your emails. So whatever reason it may be, most of our customers start off with the Web Hosting Plus, and it comes with 20 gigabytes of RAID 10 protected storage. SSD drives are extremely fast, much faster than traditional hard drives, and unlimited bandwidth. We also throw in a free domain name with this plan, and even if you don't use it right off the bat, you can always hit us up later and we can add it to your account. Now, if you need more than 20 gigabytes of space, especially if you have a big Magento store or if you're going to have a lot of products, you might want to consider our business package. Reason being, it comes with 80 gigabytes of space. But for most people just getting started, the Web Hosting Plus package is your best bet. Now, it's important to note at NameHero, your balance is never wasted. If you sign up for Web Hosting Plus, and let's say you do need more space later on, you can upgrade to any package, any web hosting package at NameHero at any time, and we will apply any amount you've already paid to your new package. So you don't have to worry about losing money and all that stuff. It's going to all be carried over. Okay, so if we click this drop down here on our Plus package, we can see the pricing breakdown. The longer you commit, the better the price is, and the shorter you commit, the price is a little bit higher. Now, we do this at NameHero because we reward customer loyalty. We're glad to have our customers, and we're confident in our product and service. So those customers that put that same confidence in us, we reward them with a lower price. So I recommend signing up for the 3 years. And of course, if you need to upgrade in a year or 2 years or maybe even 6 months, we'll apply what you've already paid to your new account. So that's right there a benefit in itself. So I'm going to go ahead and select the 3 years, and I'm going to walk you through the setup step by step. So the first thing you want to do is you want to register your domain if you have not registered it to get your free one, and you would enter it right here. You would select your TLD and check it. Well, I've already got my domain, so I'm going to select this third option. Now again, you can transfer your domain as well. Let's say your domain's hosted at GoDaddy. You could transfer it over to us. But in this case, my domain's already registered and it's already in my NameHero account. So I'm going to go ahead and enter it. It's called Website Hero and it's .net. So I'm going to put the .net in the second box in the Website Hero here, and I'm going to click on Use. Okay, so now I'm on our checkout screen where I can go ahead and configure my options. You can see I'm going to get the Basic Plus, and I have unlimited websites, 20 gigabytes storage, and unlimited bandwidth. So I can scroll down, confirm for 3 years. Next, I have the option to get a dedicated IP address. Now, this is mostly important if you plan on sending a lot of emails. Now, since this is a Magento website, you probably do want to go ahead and select the dedicated IP address. That's probably important for your website and something that you should probably add to it. For $29.95 a year, $1.50 a month, it's definitely worth it. So you can see once we get to the checkout page, we have a promotion going on. This is part of our Making Web Hosting Great Again campaign. It's going to save you about $145 today, giving the total down to $244.15. So this is some really big savings right here. I mean, really, this is for 3 years. You're not going to have to worry about your Magento web hosting bill for 36 months. So that's a pretty good deal. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and briefly pause this video while I complete the checkout. If you're following along, you can do the same thing, and then I'll continue on right before we get ready to install Magento. And once you've completed your payment, you're going to be brought to the order confirmation. So you can go ahead and click into our client area. Now this is our main area where you manage all your web hosting and domains through NameHero. So you can see we've got our news and affiliate program, everything here. But what's important right now is the cloud web hosting that we just ordered for our Magento website. So we can see right here, it's going to be this Basic Plus for websitehero.net. I've got a couple other ones in here that I use for other demonstrations. And you might have more packages with us at NameHero over time, so that might apply to you as well. But I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and this is our dashboard for our websitehero.net domain where we're going to install Magento. Or Magento rather. So what we're going to look at is the first thing we need to do is, since we said during the setup that we already have our domain and we will update our own name servers, we have to make sure that we do that. So you can see the name servers for this hosting package is ns1.namehero.net and ns2.namehero.net. So you're going to copy it, and I'm going to go over here to my domains. This is where website hero.net is, and I'm going to click on name servers. And you can see I've already got mine as NS1 and NS2 because for other demonstrations, but you want to make sure that this for your domain matches these. If your domain's hosted at GoDaddy or elsewhere, you want to get with their support or look in their knowledge base and make sure that you change these name servers accordingly, because until you update your name servers, the domain will not resolve properly. Now, it's important to note, once you change your name servers, that it could make your website appear to be offline for an hour or all the way up to 24 hours while it goes through a process called propagation. So as soon as you change your name servers, if you can't immediately see your new hosting, give it an hour, give it all the way up to 24 hours. And if you still don't see it, then you can reach out, or you can reach out to our team anyways at any time. But normally after 24 hours, everything has fully propagated, depending on where. A lot of this depends on who your internet service provider is and where you're located at in the world. Okay, so from this page here, you can manage a lot of aspects of your domain. There's a lot of shortcuts such as email accounts and your backup and all that fun stuff. But we want to go directly into cPanel so we can install Magento from there. So we're going to click right here on Log into cPanel. And we get their little tutorial on different features. We're going to click OK. And as we scroll down, you can see on the right, this is all the stuff about our package. We have 19.53 gigabytes left, so plenty of space. We'll go down here to the bottom, and we're going to look for Magento. And here it is, right over here. We have to scroll just a little bit, and we're going to click on it. Once we do, we're inside of our app installer, and this is our one-click install. This makes it very, very easy and simple to install. Now, if you're not familiar with Magento, you can read through. They do a good job of listing all their features and reviews and screenshots and all that stuff. And additionally, you can head over to the Magento website. They've got a great site with demos and all that stuff. But we're going to focus on installing this and getting it installed in under 10 minutes, under 5 minutes. So we're going to click install now. It tells us how much space it takes, and you can see we got plenty of it. So it only takes 109 megabytes. Okay, so there's a couple questions we have to answer, and after we answer these, then it'll do the installation for us. The first thing is, what version do we want? Now, a lot of software providers, they provide multiple versions because as they upgrade and progress, they, of course, they have different numbers for those updates and those releases. The reason why they make available older versions is because sometimes people have themes or customization made and they can't quite upgrade just the second the update comes out. So they still patch and make previous upgrades available just so they're not stuck having to scramble at the last second. But if you're doing a new Magento website, I recommend going with the latest version, the latest and greatest. So we're going to go with 2.1.3. And if you don't know and it's your first site, I would always go with the latest release because that's going to start you off on the right foot from the beginning. And this was released just in November 14th of 2016, so it's not too old at all. Okay, so now we have to choose our protocol. Rather, you're going to want to use HTTPS. Now, here's the thing. It is free and automatic at NameHero. However, it runs every night at midnight. Now, since I just signed up for this hosting account 5 minutes ago, and it's not midnight, my certificate has not yet generated. So if you want to use HTTPS during the install, you need to submit a ticket to our support team and tell them to run the auto SSL module on your domain. It literally takes five minutes for them to run it, and if you're submitting the ticket during the working hours, you'll receive a response within 5 to 10 minutes, and it'll be done. After hours, we'll normally get to it as well within 30 minutes. But anyways, you can always go back to it, but that's kind of how that situation works. I'm going to go www without the S, and then I'll run the SSL module afterwards manually and set that up. So if you don't want to have the SSL certificate installed or you want to wait till after midnight, you can go back and swap it out tomorrow. Okay, so now you want to choose your domain. Of course, ours is websitehero.net. Next, we want to install it in the directory that we want where customers are going to go to shop. So this could be your root website. Maybe when someone goes to your website, you want them to immediately see Magento and you want them to see your store. So you would just erase everything in that field and leave it blank. And that's how you would go about it. Now, if you want to have it in a subfolder, maybe just like /store, then you would enter store in here. And so when someone goes to websitehero.net/store, they would then see my Magento platform. I'm going to go ahead and leave it blank, and I'm going to have it on my root domain. Now, Cron Job, you can leave this default. If you don't know what it is, then don't worry about it. If you do, you can go and change it, but do that at your own risk. Now, admin path, this is important because if you keep your admin path admin, then it's going to let every hacker and attacker know exactly where your admin files are hosted. And if someone wanted to do you harm, they could try to search for your password and stuff like that. So we don't want that to happen. So we're going to make this a little bit harder. So I'm going to write it down on a piece of paper. MAG 117. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to use some uppercase and lowercase because I like to keep things secure. And you got to think if someone's going to do an attack or try to guess it, if you start throwing capitals and lowercases and numbers, then it really throws them off. All right. I'm also going to include sample data. Basically, sample data allows you to, when you install it, it's going to have some predefined information or some predefined content. So it shows you how the page structure should be. And then your job is just to start editing it. So I like to do sample data. You can install it and see if it works and all that and see how it works. And you could delete the data later on. So I like to use the sample data, especially during demonstrations. Next, we have to do the admin username and password. Probably the most important thing on this installation is not to use admin and password 1. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when someone guesses that. You have to remember, there is people that try all day to get into your admin areas. So you want to make it tough. So MH2017-1. So I'm going to call my username MH2017-1. And then my password, I'm going to use the password generator. Just click the key, and it's going to give me a secure password. So I'm going to write this down on a piece of paper, and then you can put this on your monitor, and that way you will not lose it. Boy, that's a tough one to write down now. I'll tell you what, we might have trouble remembering that one. And you can keep hitting the key button there and getting different passwords, but we're going to copy it so we try to remember this. But anyways, that's why it's important to enter your admin email address so you can reset it if you do forget it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter my first name and my last name in here, and then I'm going to enter my email address. NameHero.com. Okay, now there's some advanced options. If it's your first time installing, just leave it. It's just your database name and the table prefix. Now, some people say it's a little bit more secure when you make these random, but we automatically do that for you. So don't worry about it. Just leave it. You don't want to disable update notifications either, because when an update comes out, you want to update it. If you don't update your site, then you expose it for potential hackers and viruses and other stuff. So you always want to make sure you're up to date. Finally, when we install, we can have it email us the details of the installation. So it's just going to be details of everything we've just filled out. So maybe you can use for future reference, or if you have a webmaster or a business partner, then you can send it to them as well, or forward it over to them, or even a CTO or a more technical person, or even a developer. I'm just going to forward it to myself. All right, I'm going to click install. Okay, so now this is a common error. It says PHP is less than the required 5.6.5. Do you wish to enable PHP 5.6.28? And of course you do. And at NameHero, we allow multiple versions of PHP, so that's not a problem whatsoever. Just select yes, you do, go back down, and click install again. The cool thing about NameHero, and you can read more about this, is we want you to be able to switch PHP versions and install extensions on the fly. So you got to see, I'm going to have to enable these extensions really quick. And again, don't fret if this happens. It's super easy to do. So I'll go back to my cPanel, and I'm going to go to select PHP version. And you can see I've got 5.6 on here. And I'm going to search for these extensions, XSL, and I'm going to click that. And the other one was INTL. So I'm also going to enable that one. So back in the old days, you used to have to submit a ticket, and our team would have to enable these for you, and we'd have to rebuild Apache, and it took quite some time. But as you can see, with the way we're set up now at NameHero, everything is done right in the control panel. So now let's see if it lets it through now. And these are all common things that can happen when you're doing the one-click installer, a PHP version, an extension. But that's why we make everything nice and accessible inside of our control panel in our one-click installer. So you can see now the installer is running. And if we were to download these files and upload them ourselves, we could be sitting here for upwards of an hour or two. But as you can see, it's moving along, not as fast as some scripts out there, but it says still allow it 3 to 4 minutes. And so we're not getting any failures, so we're going to assume all is well and just kind of sit back while it builds the site. And you can see now it's good to go. Okay, so at this point, if your domain is propagated, you should be able to go to your website and see your new store. So let's just click it and see. Let's see if we got lucky here with the DNS propagation, since we just did sign up, and make sure it does show up. And it looks like it's trying to resolve, so hopefully it comes up here, and then we can demonstrate exactly how the site looks and how it works. Now, it's important on your DNS, it depends on your internet service provider. If you're in the United States and using one of the mainstream providers, then that's definitely a big thing on how fast it propagates. Now, it took mine just a little bit here because I believe it wasn't quite propagated yet, but we are all set now. So you can look at all this demo data, and look how clean this is. This is such a clean site that they give you. So you can see, I mean, it doesn't take much to have your own e-commerce website online. I can remember days in the late 90s, early 2000s, having or coding something like this would be very expensive and time consuming. Not with Magento. It makes it very, very simple. So you can see, since we've imported the demo data, it's going to give you products and pages and all that stuff, so you can go edit and modify. So that's the purpose of the demo data. It allows you to be able to look at it and to be able to model after it. So you can look at how to set up your products. Now, there's also the admin URL, which is what we talked about in the setup, that we gave the hard to guess URL to it. And we did that because it was very important that we made it hard to guess, because if this was just simply websitehero.net/index/admin, it makes us very vulnerable and open to attacks. So we would not want that to happen. But as you can see, in under 5 minutes, we have our complete store signed up online, on our cloud, on our high-speed hosting. Right now, we would still need to get our HTTPS, but again, that will run at midnight, or we can ask the support team to let us in. You can see that this is your admin area. You can enter a username and password, and then you can proceed right in there, and you can begin configuring it. Now, I do recommend checking out their website here for additional for some of the additional features and stuff that they have on it, and how to use it, and the community forums is a really good place to look or even ask for advice. And you can see it's pretty active. It's pretty active in here with users that reply to others and help others. And really, from my experience in Magento, there's not a question that you can ask that you can't find the answer to somewhere. Now, of course, you have something, our team's more than willing to help you out, but use this search function in their community, and always look before asking, because a lot of times you'll find that your question you have is not only been answered, but it's been answered and has feedback from multiple people, so you can make sure that everything is done in a right and proper way. But that's it. That's as quick and easy as it is to install Magento on NameHero Cloud. We make it very easy and straightforward. As you can see, we ran into 2 small PHP things on the installer, but we control everything in PHP and cPanel. There's no coding. We didn't open up an FTP program. We didn't have to upload anything. It was very straightforward and simple. No lines of code were touched, and we have our admin area. We have our front-end website, and we can begin selling whatever products it is. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Give us a call. Hit us up on live chat. Let us know. We're more than willing to work with you and help you out. Even ping us on Facebook or Twitter. We're very active on social media as well. But thanks a bunch, everyone. We greatly look forward to hosting all your Magento websites and sending your website and business into the future. Thanks.